Honestly, I can't believe that I've done all of this work just for random people on Twitter to screenshot the thumbnail and probably like the time code as well, and then assume what's in it and make arguments against that simply because they disagree with the premise. I'm really looking forward to people doing that.
I'm tired of your yapping! All you ever do is complain.
You know, I wasn't even going to make a video on the fallout of the fall of Doctor Who, but with the sheer level of bad faith arguments and blatant slander, I just had to say something. So if you don't know, my friend Exci, that big trans YouTuber that was in my Steven Universe video, recently made a 5-hour critique of the 2 newest seasons of Doctor Who. It got a lot of support, but on places like Twitter where opposing beliefs on innocuous things go to die, it's gotten quite a bit of shit. Before I begin this rant, I think it's important to give context on the state of the Doctor Who fandom. You don't need to know shit about the show. So back in 2017, it was announced that the protagonist, who's always recast after every few years, was to be played by, gasp, a woman. This immediately split the fandom in two. One half was excited for all the change, but waiting to see what the new season entailed. The other half complained of the fact that the Doctor dared to be played by a woman and screeched about liberal politics. These people are fucking idiots. So then the first season comes out and oh lord is it controversial. The normal people can now be categorized into 2 groups, people who like the new era and people like me who deliver good faith criticism towards the era, and Jay is among us. However, some of the people who enjoyed the era stopped being normal people. They enjoyed it too much to the point where they attribute all criticism, even good faith criticism, as toxic, hateful, and at times bigoted. So essentially, when they see a 5-hour long, well-constructed video that has a premise that challenges their opinions, they get mad, and they attempt to disguise the fact that they just can't handle other people's opinions by making arguments. The problem is that most of the people who are criticizing this video haven't seen the video in question. So with every point I make, just add, how can you know this is true if you haven't seen the video, this is flawed criticism, to the end. Every argument as to why this video is fundamentally bad is broken, and here's how. A video of this length cannot exist without being poorly structured. So this is a 5-hour video on 20 hours worth of content. I don't see you complaining about 23-minute videos about Toy Story. 2 seasons worth of content houses a total of 22 intricate self-contained storylines, as well as several overarching storylines. There is a boatload of shit to cover. Shit like, I don't know, the shit that's articulated in the description, individual episodes, individual arcs, individual concepts, each that have video essays dedicated to them of similar length. And if someone to make a 15-minute video on every single episode of this era, which they have, and compile it into one video, the finished product would still be longer than Jay's video, so you can't exactly argue this. Also, there's shit like books that analyze media. It takes about 4 minutes to read a page, so let's assume this video's script is 78 pages. The books are longer. Are those poorly constructed? Why spend so much time hating something? This is not a video made out of hate or spite. If you watch the video, you would understand this. Within the first 5 minutes, you can clearly hear her say,
Basically though, I've liked Doctor Who for quite a long time, so I can assure you that this critique comes from a place of love because I really want to see the show get better. And I think that spreading what the actual issues with this run of the show are is the closest I can actually get to doing my part in that.
Fuck, this was actually the point of my own video that had Jay in it. And the video ends on a positive note as well. Jay has no life/job. First of all, this is a passion project, and someone with a job can make a passion project. And second of all, this is her job. She's getting paid for this, and if you seriously want to say, we'll get a better job that doesn't make videos criticizing stuff I like, then you're a child. I'm sorry. You're a fucking child. These points have already been made before. Yes, and they aren't articulated upon to the extent that they can to give a comprehensive look. And all the points made have no cohesive through line. Good faith criticism means outlining your points clearly and cohesively, which the video did. People have made this video but shorter. Summarize your points and make this video shorter. Yeah, and does it touch on as many points as it goes in depth on its criticisms, and are they ignored because people make up bullshit excuses to weasel their way around them? The purpose of the video is not only to outline the flaws, but to quell discourse. On the second point, I was told once that Jay should keep this video at 1 hour for that one person's own convenience. And like, how the fuck would you do that? Either a large amount of points that are contingent on each other will get cut, making the essay disjointed, or Jay would literally have to make her points into singular sentences with no elaboration or video footage, meaning that it's just an hour of statements without substantiation. If you want to kill an in-depth essay, doing this is your way to do it. And now, for the final argument, JXC is sexist. Okay, first of all, just because you criticize something with a woman in it does not automatically mean that you hate women. There are a ton of other elements to media besides women. I understand there's a lot of sexism in the fandom, but if you seriously believe everyone who didn't like something you liked is a sexist, then you are living in an echo chamber. Wake up! Second of all, JXC is a trans woman. Gender assumptions aside, because she literally takes hormones on camera, which you know if you watched the video. What's worse is that people can't comprehend this fact. Look at this dumbass. They literally can't comprehend the fact that Jay is trans. They can't comprehend that someone would criticize the show for any other reason besides the woman ban. Literally all Jay's video does is point out stuff that happens in the show and showcase how it fails at coherently conveying what it is conveying by comparing it to both hypothetical and actual examples of how to do it better. If anything, you should be mad at the writer, Chris Chibnall. He's the one including the stuff Jay is talking about. Why do you hate women, Chris? Why do you write women so badly, Chris? And here we arrive at the main point of this video. The Doctor Who community does house a lot of kind and nice people, but when it doesn't, it houses some of the most insane fucking idiots as possible. These people cannot tolerate any sort of opposing viewpoint that even slightly goes out of their comfort zone. And if this viewpoint is articulated with any sort of nuance, we'll prepare to be labeled as sexist because some dipshits who hate this era because it has a woman in it suddenly means every person who dislikes the era hates it because it has a woman. If Jay asks a simple question, well, that's toxicity. J equals NMD. If Jay explains she has ADHD and this is hyperfixation, well, fuck that too. We police how you express your neurodivergency. Did you know that Jay has a boyfriend? Well, she does. His name is Kit and he's really nice. And some of his mutuals, his fucking Twitter mutuals, soft blocked him because he shows support for Jay. I will repeat myself. People have terminated the equivalent of a Twitter friendship because how dare you show support for your girlfriend? This is bad and I do not want this. Why? Because it's expressing a negative viewpoint on a show I like in a format that is not easily consumable to me. And this shit always happens. It happened to Mahler with a 2-hour video. It happened to Cartoonshi with a 47-minute video. It happened to Implement with a 32-minute video. And just like with Imp, I'm putting my foot down and saying that enough is enough. So dear Doctor Who community, 2 things. First of all, admit that you have an inability to accept the fact that people dislike the era that you like. And second of all, learn from it and grow the fuck up. Well, that rant probably got me blocked by the 10 people in the Doctor Who community who haven't blocked me yet. Also, if you're someone like John the White or Not My Fandom, here's some advice for you. Shut the fuck up. You're just as stupid as these people. Welp, I gotta get back to doing the only things I'm good at, being trans and watching Implement. I'll watch his video on frying Dory. It was pretty funny. Oh right, yeah. I forgot I have to make a 3 fucking hour video on this fucking You know what, fuck it. Before I plunge into the depths of long form video, how about we return to an old friend?